how can then the predator population suddenly increase? Now, very quickly, the usual suspects are turned to, and I'm wondering whether the fishermen who are sometimes claimed to be the problem are not actually the victims here. There are, in any way, many factors that play into this. For example, the use of seaways and the number of offshore installations is also something that needs to be seen in this context.
I guess we can all agree that the marine ecosystem, and particularly the food web, is a very sensitive system that needs to be protected by all means. Changes to the food chain by diminishing or removing one key factor will damage the whole structure. So, predators and fish, as Britta already mentioned, they have a special relationship between them in the nature. So we have to keep it and study it in the most cautious way.
The EU has at least two major functions in improving the usage of marine resources and improving the seafood sector. The first one is that the Commission is organizing the international research. So it is a very good platform for us to team up with scientists from other nations within the EU and form project consortia. And that enables, for example, that we can compare different systems, relatively simple, such as the Baltic Sea, to more complex systems, such as the North Sea or the Mediterranean. And this coordination is pretty important.
Important changes in marine ecosystems often happen quite abruptly and bring about new stable relations. And the only way to change things around is to change the whole system through a kind of shock, if you like, through, as we've seen in hysteresis. And you have the top-down trophic cascades, you have the bottom-up effects that come from productivity, or, as we've heard about the hourglass or wasp waste approach.
We're very fortunate that we had 4 eminent scientists there to share their views, their experience with us, and how they saw how we should proceed into the future, with a view to ensuring that we have a fishery that can be exploited, but it can only be done in a sustainable way. I was extremely impressed with their presentations, because their presentations, while they're eminent scientists, were very much in layman's language that all stakeholders could fully understand. And I believe such conferences should take place more often, whether it be in the Fisheries Committee or within the various groups.
New management must rely on data. It must have more data made available. It must work with the data it has. Communicating with stakeholders, very important. Much more engagement from stakeholders. They need to be given incentives and they need to buy into the management plans. Area-based management plans. Move away from managing species, manage areas. And meeting these new challenges through data, communication with stakeholders and area-based management plans.
Conventional regulation of selectivity has met with a mixed bag of results, some positive and many not really positive. That the single species paradigm replacement is probably overdue, and that also that predicting multi-species and ecosystem effects of selection is not very easy, and that genetic and phenotype forcing is an additional emerging concern. There is no clear evidence, in fact, today, that the conventional selectivity regulation we have been doing for many decades complies with the EAF requirement to maintain an ecosystem structure and its properties.